here on YouTube, and it's going to basically be me giving my quick thoughts on the information we figured out this past Tuesday, May the 10th, about Pokemon Sun and Moon releasing later this year. The trailers were released, the American trailer and a Japanese trailer, and they started showing off, the starters, which you're seeing right in front of you right now. Sorry about the lighting here, just trying to get a little visual aid here, as well as the region, stuff like that. So, let me just set this up here so I can talk. So, basically, I want to give my quick thoughts on the Pokemon that you just basically saw in this region, and basically stuff that we saw in the trailer, and just my general thoughts on what I'm looking forward to in this game, and what we've, heard about. Okay, so basically we now know the starters. The grass starter is an owl named Rowlet, Litten is a fire cat, and Popplio is a sea lion for the water Pokemon. Now, controversial subject at hand right here, right now. Because since they've announced these Pokemon, I have heard considerable amount of negative stuff about them. But I've also heard a lot of good stuff, too. Do I think they're the best trio of Pokemon starters we've had ever? No, but I don't think they're the worst. And I'm talking about that as a three-person team, them consistently all being, good, bad, whatever. I'd say they are better than a couple of the regions, but not some of the other ones. I definitely would say some of the best regions were all the Pokemon, all the fire, grass, and water starters that you got were actually pretty good. Were Generation 1, 2, 3, and 6. I'd say I would definitely probably put this generation, at least design-wise, what we know so far, at least a little bit above, Generations 4 and 5 to an extent. At least 4 for sure, because I wasn't super big on every single Pokemon in Generation 4. For the starters, not talking about the Pokemon you can collect in the game, but the starters. That was probably one of my least favorite. The Sinnoh starters were probably some of my least favorite starters. Just crazy enough. But here, are these bad starters? No. But they're not I don't think they're the greatest, but they're not bad. Rowlet, that owl is adorable. It's freaking adorably cute. And it's a flying type. It's an owl. It's interesting. It's different. And then a fire cat, well, I already know what Pokemon I'm picking. I'm picking Litten. 2 reasons. I always pick the fire Pokemon, even though I'm not the biggest fan of some of the fire Pokemon starters. I'm not the biggest fan of Chimchar and Tepig and stuff like that. I do love me some Charmander and Cyndaquil and Torchic and what's the one from Gen 6? Why can't I remember that? The fox thing. Oh jeez. Fennekin. Okay. I'm more a fan of those than say Tepig and Chimchar, but I don't hate Chimchar or Tepig. I don't know. I just like picking fire Pokemon. Unless I get 2 versions of a game, I always pick the fire Pokemon. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of some of those. When it came to Gen 4, I thought Piplup was more interesting than Chimchar, and then Snivy was more interested than Tepig in Gen 5. In terms of Pokemon, starters and evolutions and whatnot. But here, I'd pick it 1 because it's the fire Pokemon, and 2, it's a freaking cat, and I love cats, even though I'm allergic as all hell to hair. I love cats. It's a fire cat, Litten, obvious choice, and then Piplup. See, Piplup's the one, not Piplup, Popplio. I keep thinking about Popplio is the one I see getting the most consistent negative attention, just thinking about how stupid the design is and so on and so forth, and I can understand maybe where some people were coming from. When I first saw the design for Popplio, I did think it, quite frankly, sadly to say, was actually quite stupid. But looking at it more now, it's actually not the weirdest Pokemon we've seen. And it's kind of adorable like Litten and Rowlet as well, in its own right. And I can see we have never had a sea lion, or seal, or whatever, as starting Pokemon. So I'd say, at least in terms of the choices they picked, a cat, an owl, and a sea lion, it's pretty original and different. So overall, the starters, not my favorite 3 trio starters, but certainly not my least favorite. All the starters in general have always been decently good here and there, but there's some I haven't really liked. But like I said, for Kanto, Johto, and Hoenn, I thought all 3 starters as a whole team, as a package, were just awesome. And then we get to Gen 4, and I get Chimchar and that stupid grass Pokemon, which I'm saying, the grass Pokemon quite sucked in Sinnoh. And then you get to Unova, and I wasn't really a fan of Tepig. Snivy was cool, and Oshawott was pretty decently cool too. Nothing ever actually sucked, but there have been ones I don't really liked a whole lot, and that was like, the grass Pokemon of Generation 4, which is kind of eh. But these ones look pretty good. I could definitely see Litten standing up to me, for my, favorite like fire type starter with like the likes of like Fennekin, Cyndaquil, and Torchic. So it's possible. And then we learned about the region, which is called Alola, which, like Aloha, we finally figured out all the rumors about the region basically being based off Hawaii. Which, quite frankly, like, that's a totally different setting. That's just so interesting to see that setting, because we've never really seen, a Pokemon setting like that. It's just like very tropical, it's going to be very tropical, very different looking. Like, Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh were all based off regions in Japan. Unova was based off in New York. And Kalos was, France? Or Paris or whatever? Paris, France. So they're finally starting to really make these regions based off some really interesting, international, unique, different places. So from now on, we're probably going to see every different region from now on, especially since Unova, being different places around the world, which will at least make the regions look vastly different. And it's going to be interesting. We're going to it's going to be like Hoenn with a lot of water and probably small islands. Too much water, negative point, 3 out of 10. IGN. It's going to be like that over again in terms of the review. But it's going to be interesting because it just feels like it's going to be like a totally different setting, different trainers, and different atmosphere. And I quite frankly appreciate that because that looks interesting. And we saw the 3D models look a little more detailed. It's basically like taking what X and Y did for the 3D, a full-on 3D Pokemon game, and just cranking it up to be more in detail. I like that. And we are going to be getting character customization again. We're going to be able to customize the trainer looks, sort of. And I'm assuming since they're taking what they did in X and Y and they're going to do more of it and improve upon it, we're probably going to get a little more depth, maybe in terms of clothes especially, which I doubt they're not going to get rid of that. Like, we got like more clothes options, more customizing our trainer options, and hopefully maybe hairstyles and different stuff we can do. Maybe glasses or masks or some sort of... I just would like... a lot of customization so I can fully customize my trainer to however I see fit. And so when I go online and I see all these other people with their trainers that they have named, I see vastly unique, different trainers. And overall, it just looks fun. Like, seeing, especially the Japanese trailer, I agree. People said it was nostalgic. It actually is kind of nostalgic. Kid coming to a new, new part of the world, like new student, a new kid in the class, a new kid in the neighborhood. And like getting used to hanging out with these kids and getting to know people and become friends because of Pokemon. It is kind of nostalgic, and it kind of takes you back to the Pokemon, like huge Pokemon mania stuff back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like how a lot of kids basically became friends with people because of Pokemon. It was like overall than the generic American one that basically just showed the game off. That one I actually thought was kind of cute. It was really interesting, unique, nostalgic, heartfelt, stuff like that. I actually felt pretty good. So overall, my thoughts: the starters look pretty interesting. I'm totally picking Litten, like for reasons I said at the beginning of the video. Alola looks pretty interesting. It's gonna be unique and different. Hopefully more character customizations, more detail on the models, and everything else like that. So put in the comment section what you guys think. What do you guys think about Pokemon Sun and Moon? Are you looking for the character customization? What starter do you want to pick? What do you think of Alola? And what else do you hope we see in this game? Peace. Please subscribe if you want to. Have a nice day. See you all later in my next video.